Level 1. The Aspirant. You begin your life as a ghost in your own neighborhood. You are a local kid, an aspirant hanging around the social clubs where the made men play cards in the back rooms. Your daily grind is defined by invisibility and manual labor. You wash the armored Cadillacs until they shine like mirrors, you fetch cold espresso for men who don't know your name, and you keep your mouth shut while your ears absorb the architecture of crime. You are being watched every second. Your discipline is the product being evaluated. If you talk too much, you disappear before you even exist. Your vulnerability is your primary qualification. The organization recruits carefully, looking for individuals like you who have been hollowed out by the collapse of the pyramid schemes and the transition to a failed democracy. You remember the 1997 riots, the looting of millions of weapons, and the smell of gunpowder that replaced the scent of your childhood. This instability created the perfect conditions for the Fis, your family clan, to infiltrate the emerging state. You are not making money yet. You are taking all the risk for none of the reward, serving as free labor to prove your unconditional loyalty to the clan. Your first test of loyalty arrives on a rainy Tuesday. You are handed a heavy burlap bag and told to wait on a specific street corner in Shkodra. You don't know what is inside, but the weight suggests several kilograms of barth, cocaine, or mal, heroin. If the state police raid the corner, you are the one they throw in the van while the bosses walk out the back door. You must serve your time in silence, proving you can hold your Besa even when the fluorescent lights of an interrogation room are burning your retinas. Level 2. The Halcone, the eyes of the Fis. Your reliability earns you a promotion to the rank of Halcone, the Falcon. You are now the eyes and ears of the corporation. Your new boss hands you a burner phone and a high-powered radio, then points you to a strategic vantage point overlooking the Port of Durrës. Your job is simple and grueling. You do not blink. You monitor the 1-kilometer road that separates the container terminal from the scanners. You watch for the specific patrol patterns of the state police and the movement of rival crews who might be looking for a hostile takeover of your turf. Your daily routine is a masterclass in tactical observation. You learn to spot unmarked surveillance cars by the specific wear on their tires and the behavior of the drivers who sit too long in the heat without rolling down the windows. You build alert codes that no one else can crack, ensuring that if a shipment is moving, it has a safe passage window. You are a logistics ghost, a cheap and disposable early warning system for the billion-dollar wholesale market. At this level, you gain your first taste of sin and the protection of the Fis. You are no longer just a kid, you are an associate. You start to see how the Albanian criminal groups are characterized by close family ties and a strong inner discipline, achieved through punitive action for every deviation from the rules. Your fear guarantees your loyalty. If you fall asleep on your shift or miss a police movement, the punishment is not a pay cut, it is a brutal physical reminder of the stakes. Level 3. The Mick, the architect of the Balkan Route. Your competence as a Falcon secures your promotion to Mick, meaning friend or liaison. You are now a coordinator, a mid-level manager of the Balkan Route logistics. This is your introduction to the professional grind of moving opiates from the Golden Crescent, Afghanistan, Iran, and Turkey into the veins of Western Europe. You are no longer watching the port, you are manipulating it. Your daily routine involves the rip-on, rip-off method. You orchestrate the tampering of legitimate containers bound for Western Europe. You manage a team of port insiders, crane operators, and shipping administrators who have been compromised by debt or ideology. You break the seals of containers carrying coconut soap, bananas, or plaster adhesive, stash the drugs inside, and reseal them with counterfeit duplicates before the consignee even knows their cargo is a Trojan horse. You are also the manager of mules and truck drivers. You hire desperate individuals, including migrants in camps in northern France, and offer to pay for their crossings if they are willing to serve as couriers. You provide them with modified fuel tanks or structural voids in heavy goods vehicles, HGVs, that can hold 10 to 15 kilograms of heroin or cocaine. Your world is a multi-commodity corridor where you move drugs, weapons, and human beings with the same cold efficiency. Level 4. The Soldat, the weight of the Kanun. You have proven your logistical mind, but now the clan demands your stomach for violence. You were made a soldat, a soldier, and you are assigned to a crew of enforcers. Your currency is no longer shipping manifests, it is fear. You are the enforcer of the Kanun, the mechanism that keeps the money flowing through the protection rackets in cities like Shkodra and Tirana. Your daily routine is an exercise in intimidation. You visit local businesses to collect the piso, floor tax, framed as protection money. You employ the goldfish strategy. You become a technical professional who can bleed a man out in 3 seconds by memorizing the exact location of his arteries. You use tactile nouns in your work: the weight of a Beretta, the cold grit of a metal pipe, the smell of burning tires used to send a message to a rival. You are also the primary tool for leadership succession and the resolution of the Jack Maria, or blood feud. If a guest is killed under the protection of your house or a debt is not paid, you are the one who avenges the honor of the Fizz. You realize that honor is held in higher regard than life because it carries over generations. You participate in the initiation ritual, where your trigger finger is pricked with a pin and your blood is dripped onto a picture of a saint, which is then set on fire. You swear your loyalty to the family until death, and you understand that if you betray the Besa, your flesh will burn like that saint. Level 5. The Creator, the Shadow of the Port. You have survived the street wars and proven your loyalty through blood. Now you are elevated to Creator, an underboss or unit leader. You move from the alleys to the office, trading your baseball bat for a laptop and a complex network of shell companies. You are a mid-level executive responsible for the entire logistics of a specific territory, such as the Port of Durrës or a regional smuggling corridor. Your daily routine involves the Highway 10 maritime route, connecting the cocaine labs of Latin America to the coasts of West Africa and onward to Europe. You are the architect of vertical integration. You don't just buy drugs, you coordinate with brokers in Ecuador and Paraguay to ship record-breaking 12-ton consignments of cocaine. You manage the token system, the Hawala money transfer network, moving tens of millions of euros across borders without triggering bank detection. You are also the manager of the Besa contract for your crew. You coordinate these massive criminal undertakings from remote locations, relying on encrypted platforms like Sky, ECC, and Signal. You are responsible for the income of dozens of soldiers and hundreds of associates. If the state police or SPOC, Special Structure on Corruption and Organized Crime, build a case, you are the insulation that keeps the top-level bosses out of jail. Level 6. The Money Launderer, the Concrete of Tirana. You have mastered the movement of product, now you must master the movement of the profit. You are recruited into the inner circle of the CREA to manage the final integration. You are a high-level specialist, often an accountant or developer recruited from a legitimate firm, now serving as the CFO for the syndicate. Your world is one of public stocks, private companies, and the construction boom that is stripping the soul out of Tirana. Your daily routine is centered on the construction industry, the primary channel for laundering millions in drug proceeds. You manage the PIT projects, massive residential and commercial buildings where building licenses are bought from corrupted officials. You facilitate IFFs, illicit financial flows, by financing construction contracts and undercounting the value of labor, transforming dirty cash into tangible real estate assets worth 4,000 euros per square meter. You also manage the call center operations, international businesses that overdeclare profits and move illicit funds undetected under the guise of consulting or telephone services. You use shell companies, often registered in the names of women or close associates, who appear less suspicious to the authorities, to hide the finances of the criminal network. You are the magician who makes the money dance through Cyprus, Panama, and the UAE, spinning it so fast it becomes a ghost. Level 7. The Cry, the Kingmaker of the Narco-State. You have ascended to the throne. You are the Cry, the boss, the capo familia. You are the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar global operation. Your life is no longer about the street. It is about the board of directors for organized crime. You sit with the bosses of the other 5 families and divide the country like a cake. Your daily routine is one of pure legitimacy. You sit in a bulletproof mansion or a high-rise penthouse surrounded by cattle ranches, shipping lines, and resorts. You are a philanthropist, a political donor, and a man of the people. You use your massive earnings to build schools and hospitals in your old neighborhood, buying cheap loyalty and laundering your conscience with bricks and mortar. You don't talk to 99% of your organization. You whisper orders to your creator, and 3 days later, a rival disappears. You are the kingmaker. You have senators, cabinet ministers, and federal judges on your payroll. You understand that bullets kill people, but politics kills entire organizations. You buy a presidential candidate with unlimited dark money, and in return, he hands you the keys to the kingdom. You are a saint standing on a mountain of bones, and the public worships you as the benefactor, while you control the flow of 80% of the heroin in the region. Level 8. The Bajrak, the prisoner of legend. You have reached the pinnacle of the hierarchy, but you have moved beyond the business of crime. You are a member of the Bajrak, the executive committee of the clan. You are one of the high-ranking elders who select the cry and govern the feasts. Your life is a performance of the Kanun, an ancient social code that you must maintain to ensure the clan's survival across generations. Your daily routine is a ritual of isolation. You live in a quiet estate where the staff arrives before sunrise and the shades open on a schedule. You receive a morning brief from your chief of staff detailing market summaries and security plans. You don't manage operations, you manage the Besa. You are the keeper of the bloodlines, ensuring endogamic closure by marrying your children within the organization to keep the impermeability of the clan absolute. You are a god, but you are a god in a cage. You haven't walked a city street without 40 attendants in 20 years. You perform the act of enjoying your garden, while your security team scans the perimeter for threats that are always there. You are the ultimate loose end, the one who knows where every single dollar is buried and who every corrupted official is. Your isolation is absolute.
Level 9. The tragic realization. The final invoice. You stand at the edge of the cliff, the wind hitting your face through the broken window of a car that is no longer your sanctuary. You have climbed every level of the power hierarchy, and you have reached the terminal end. You are a ghost, a merchant of death paraded in front of cameras by the same governments who were your biggest clients. The realization hits you harder than the cold water of the Adriatic. Your success didn't buy your freedom, it only increased the interest rate on your debt to the Kanun. You have been a puppet, a number on a spreadsheet, moved from one column to another by the war machine. You killed your brother in arms to save him from a worse fate, and a part of your soul died in that cemetery with him. Success has a hidden cost, and you are about to pay the price. You look at the ocean, a promise of blue silence. You realize that your life was just the accrued interest on a 5,000 peso debt you couldn't pay when you were 14. You were a saint of sinners, building schools with the bones of the neighborhood you tried to save. The paradox of power is absolute. The more you have, the more you are controlled by it. You have reached the strategic peak, and the only thing waiting for you is the cycle reset.